sweet to me. Ow, honey, yeah.
Everybody should come see this movie, especially leading a love story, you know, because it's a love story, you know, with love going bad, but also finding real love, and it's true to life, you know. I saw myself in so many different characters at so many different times. It's wonderful, and I thank you for it, because definitely we need it. I'm tired of going to mainstream movies and not finding me. You can find you in here.
I really appreciate being able to see pictures that represent me in my life on the screen, and you know, it really proves that good storytelling isn't dependent upon a huge Hollywood budget.
Well, I think She Wasn't Last Night was fantastic. You know, in terms of just independent film in general, and especially independent film that deals with, you know, folks in the life. I think just a beautiful representation of just women of color and all their beauty and all sorts of images. You know, I think issues of love and relationships. You know, I think the tested trials of long-term relationships, and you know what we all go through after a while. How do you keep it hot? How do you keep it interesting? And then when something happens, how do you know? Can you recover from that? You know, I think the film dealt wonderfully with issues of age difference in relationships, and you know, and I think those are all issues that, yeah, that I think ladies in their 20s, 30s, early 40s are certainly dealing with every day.
I enjoyed it. I truly did.
I think I sort of related to the teenager to some degree, even though I wasn't out at that time. I, you know, writing and sort of being a creative type, but not necessarily having the confidence to put it out there all the time. And so I did enjoy seeing her journey from, you know, questioning to presentation.
The best friend, when she said that you always doing stuff for everybody else and you never do anything for yourself. And when she finally did something for her, that meant so much. I know there's so many women that's trying to do so many things for me right now after getting out of a relationship. I'm not ready yet, but I can see how, if I was, how beautiful it would be. So it did open me up for some change, and I want to say thank you for that.
I'm not sure the character's name. They was talking about let's have an open relationship. I had experienced that with somebody, and they wanted an open relationship, and I probably would have been a little good with that if the reality and the truth of it would have came out in the beginning, not when the relationship is over.
Probably, I guess, Chantel, you know, in some ways, from the perspective of a little bit conservative, a little bit stiff. I'm not quite as artistic as she is. But what I can relate to was this idea of you get involved in a career, you get really focused, and losing sight of the sort of creative sparks and passions that really, I think, give the vibrancy of life. And how do you balance the need for artistic creativity and satisfaction with trying to pay bills and kind of getting into a routine that may be fulfilling, but may not be kind of where, you know, one's life goal is really supposed to be.
Well, I guess my personal thought is that, well, it's happened to me before, and for some reason I have attracted younger women or younger people, so I don't have a problem with it.
When you have an older woman and a younger woman. A younger woman has yet to explore all of what she is, but yet the older woman has already done this, already paved the way. But and then again, when you see that she still needs to do her jewelry, she wasn't done yet, and we continue to evolve. But I think when we evolve and we decide that we want to be together, that evolving together doesn't mean everybody have to go their separate ways. So I think for that part, we learned something from it, because as you see, the younger character was very, very upset about her decisions. I don't think she was happy, but we will never know until we do the next one.
Well, I think looking at how the film dealt with the intergenerational relationships, it was very interesting because, you know, the crux of that relationship was centered around a youth center. And as I was thinking about it, I think that very much mirrors real life. And as I think about myself and not being involved in sort of youth center efforts, I don't know that I interact with teenagers at all, you know, in the course of my world. And as I was thinking about that, also kind of wondered, you know, is that a space that I need to be thinking about, you know, in terms of outside of sort of that structured relationship, do we do anything really to help mentor teenagers?
Well, I really enjoyed that. I think it's very important for everybody to have models, and if you want to call them role models or what have you, and very often it's difficult for gay, lesbian, questioning youth for that to happen, because, you know, it's not like me being a black woman, because my parents are black, so, you know, and family members thought sexuality is different in that regard. So to have not just role models, but positive folks who are living their lives and living good lives and kind of showing you the way to that, or at least offering the vision that is possible, is extremely important.
I thought that was very important because, you know, we already have the stereotype that we're going to prey on a young lesbian, and that we're going to do some things to this lesbian, or we're going to take advantage of our role. And it was so good that we showed that the positive things about us, we want to put that energy in them as well.
You know what? That is so important in our community today. I think we need more people stepping up and being responsible and taking interest in the young people coming up, whether they're same gender loving or heterosexual. They're getting lost, and we as black women, as black men, as black people need to step up and take interest in them and just show them some attention, some positive attention, give them some examples.
It was great to see, you know, see Dominicana in the film, and it just sort of that element, because I think so often, especially in films and in things that deal with sort of the, you know, say traditionally African American lesbian experience, we don't talk about that as much. And so I think it was nice to just have it sort of naturally woven in and not be something that had to be called out overtly, but just was a part of the story.
The transition from the breakup, or the initial fact that I know that you cheated, the transition that you did was phenomenal, because it's true. You have one person crying over something that they did and they're so guilty about it and they feel so bad about it. But then you have the other person recognizing there's something different about what's going on here. So that crying transition from the one who did the bad to the one that it was done to was magnificent. I love it. I love the transition, and I think that is the healing process that we start to go through, is shedding those tears and letting ourselves know this is about to be a change. And we're about to change and evolve into something that we're not used to yet.
Is you just don't see representations, or at least I would say realistic representations of lesbians of color. You know, I think about Tasha's character on L Word, and that's fine, but I mean, it was so token, and Poppy, I mean, that, but yeah, I mean, yes. Token, and you're going, that's not my world, that's not how I roll, that's not how my friends roll. And so I think that's the importance of independent film, and, you know, and I think the opening is trying to see how those films can get even more major play, because it is such a void.
I wanted something different. I'm tired of going to mainstream movies and seeing movies not written about lesbians. And I'm a lesbian, and I want to see us portrayed in a great light, especially when it comes to how we love. Because oftentimes they show us either in a pornographic light or this unrealistic love scene that's not, you don't feel it, you know. And I actually looked at your film and I could feel a part of the love scene. I could see love being shared by two women, and that's a beautiful thing.
You're so sweet. alone with